what's up? This is your brother Divine Prospect of Kingdom Harbinger Ministries, and I have a special feature for you guys today with my brother Eric and my brother Edward of B Enterprises. These guys are doing astonishing work in the community and something that is very, very important. The brothers stopped me, they recognized me, and we had a great dialogue, a great build. And I want to get some of what they do on camera so that way you guys can see, you guys can patronize them, support them, and definitely check them out to see what they're doing, because they're doing great work in the community and something that is revolutionary. And we have to see what this is. So, if you don't mind starting off, I'm gonna start with you, brother Eric. Let us know how this B Enterprises, that's the name of the business, right?
Yes.
How did that come about? Break that down for us.
Well, actually, we've been operating in the corporate structure for probably over 20 so years ourselves. And so basically, whenever we do new ventures, we pretty much perform a whole new system, or whether it's a new corporation, LLC, foundation, trust, whatever we want to utilize for that. So in this instance for the endeavor that we're taking on now, which is really going to go into the communities and assist our people with benefiting from the gentrification program that's really occurring. And we're going to go in and start educating, I like to say youth, people who we can affect, you know what I'm saying, educate them, on what to do and how to do, and not just talk about it, but even have the capital and things to support those who get the education to go in. There's one thing about it. A lot of people know that resources are changing hands very fast, and a lot of these cities, gentrification has already basically occurred in some places. But if we just identify it, sometimes we can at least benefit, and then support our own causes, at least with the commercial resources that we benefit from. And I know it's, even getting to this part, B is just one part. Like when I first, saw you on Sinetta TV, all the different brothers. Shout out to those, like the different gentlemen, all the different. But we've learned so much from. I want to always say to you guys that, I'm not very familiar in some of the history like you guys are, but we spent our time in the commercial realm. So I like to look at it like we are an organization and a body. And then different pieces of us have to come together and run a different division, a different department. So all of us can't be on all fronts. So we need you brothers giving us the history, waking us up to things that weren't going on currently. And we have tons of brothers from other aspects who understand how to operate within the system.
So what services does B Enterprises offer the community?
Ed, you want to cover that?
Go ahead, Ed.
Well, offer a wide variety. Majority of it is in the financial industry, because that's something that we lack as a group, as a people, is the finances. Credit restoration, credit repair, business lines of credit. The main thing that helps to, as Brother Eric said, we've been so long in the corporate world, it's knowing the rules to the game. So many times we hear different groups that would come around talking about getting away from the system. If you're getting away from the system, what do you have that's going to take place of that? Nobody has anything. So we've taken both sides of it and stuck with knowing the rules to the game and operating within the rules of the game, so we can bring those resources back to us and build that way, because it's already in place, been in place for years. So instead of trying to destroy something and not having a solution, know how they operate and duplicate what they do so we can grow and expand as a community.
Awesome. So, can you show us the business card that you got there? I want to just zoom in so that people can see it.
This is one business card. This wouldn't deal with the overall umbrella of B, but this is one of our business cards. This is one of the actual structures that we had set up with New Living Enterprises that we had set up where we teach people how to do taxes, teach them how to do debt elimination, all the things. And some of you guys have heard all these things from different people before. We've been doing it for a while. Other people have been doing it a while. I want to say this, brother. I think one of the things that my main focus was on was that it's a ton of our people out there who really, they know they have to do for self. They know they have to do something. They don't know how to do it or what. And I think our main focus, even though we can touch something and be successful because we have an organization and people working and operating administratively, I think our key has been trying to teach people how to actually set up organizations. You know what I'm saying? Because some things you really can't do alone. Now you can do a skilled labor alone. Yeah, you can be on the left side of the quadrant, as you probably heard Kiyosaki and different people say. You can do skilled labor alone. But if we're going to talk about nation building, if we're going to talk about the real serious stuff, we learned it years ago. When you see major buildings, those are corporations. Those are designed for people united together, taking hats and posts and divisions and more. We have to learn that, and so we've been allowed. We've studied in that area. So one thing we do is we go and assist companies to actually, no matter how great their idea is, how to actually structure the business, set it up effectively and properly. And then another thing I like to see that we maybe get away sometimes from, I don't have a problem. I know most of us do a lot of 501s and nonprofits, and those things are all right. But I would like to see us mastering a much more complex structure of sharing stocks, sharing interest. I come and I give you $5,000. That's good. I do want to see my brother do well, but I would rather you go ahead, and if you don't know how, let us show you how. Show you how to set up a complex structure that's going to give A shares or B shares of stock, and individuals now can invest in your interest, and it's not a cause of just hope, but as you grow, they prosper from dividend distributions or all these actual things that are so simple to do. I mean, I think this was done, and we always hear about the Jews in the ghetto system. Basically, that's why they were so powerful. They basically, each one got behind a different company and they all had an interest. They didn't have to have a majority interest. We don't need a majority interest in your business. You can control your business, but if we're going to put resources in which gets you there faster, then we're all benefiting as we're expanding. It makes sense for us now to spend money with each other instead of just throwing money at each other, saying, well, I'm supporting you just because you're black. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. That doesn't mean it's going to recircle back to me the cause and the effect. So exactly. I want to at least say that much because I do want us as a conscious community to get to a more complex structure. It's time now. We've already learned our history. We've learned that from you guys. We learned the truths of how we need to be acting and getting up out of this, our unrighteous ways. We've learned who we are and who our open enemies are, and we learned how to clean ourselves up. So now it's time for us to be responsible. And I think we're going to have to get more complex and tighten the helmets up now and start quit fussing and yelling. And now it's time to get behind some closed doors and put some things together.
Put some plans together. So you guys are located out in Nashville, Tennessee. Is that correct?
We are one of our home offices in Nashville, Tennessee. That's our main office.
Their main office. So you guys came all the way out here to Atlanta to help a client. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're here a lot.
Awesome.
We actually an arm of our business is here in Atlanta as well. So, like I said, we have the real estate potential as well. When I say real estate potential, we show you actually how to operate the entity, and then we actually fund it. If you know what you're doing, we got the money.
Awesome. So if people wanted to request your services, how can they reach out to you guys?
Which number you want to go? 800?
Yeah. It's 800-516-1091. So 1-800-516-1091.
How can they contact you via email?
Now you can contact me at Kinzer Group Trust. That's KINZER Group, GRUP Trust at gmail.com. That's the best contact for us and want to actually get certain aspects of things. Well, I will say this. At one time we used to do a lot of open training in the options market in probably 07, 08. That was one of the first markets we were going into the community. And we kind of went more what I call private after that, because it became very dangerous, and it became, we started learning some truths that the quote-unquote people really didn't want you to make money. If you did make money, the agencies would attack you if you weren't doing their typical 401ks, just things in their system that enhance the system. So we had to learn how to get a little quiet, you know what I'm saying, and learn how to protect ourselves contractually and privately using, there's other means. We know how to do it privately now as well as within the color of law too as well.
Exactly.
So, and so we haven't really done a lot of social media, but we're going to work on that. And if I do it, most of the time I do it in a private scenario with those who are members of our groups. All our members, we raise capital for investments. If people actually have sizable investment, they know what they're doing. We have systems of we can raise private venture capital and
Nice.
do those things.
So, last thing I want to end off with, when you hear the word autonomy, how does the paradigm that you guys have constructed to better edify and build up the community, how does the word autonomy fit into that? Autonomy meaning self-governance. How does that fit into the paradigm that you guys have constructed as a solution for our community?
You want
I touched on it a little bit first. Autonomy for us is center giving back and teaching. Because a lot of the knowledge that's we've run across is knowledge that we've had, but we've given it up and actually got to sleep on it. So it's more of an awakening, especially on the financial and commerce, because as you know, commerce is spiritual, and we've definitely got away from spiritual and gone into some other stuff. So it's a way to give back and show that commerce is spiritual. Don't be afraid of getting money, but find a goal and your purpose, and stick with that goal and purpose. A lot of times we want to chase the dollar bills, which is fine because we need it to survive. But without that goal and purpose, money will never come. And if it does come, it's going to collapse quicker than you got it. So I always teach to stay on the goal and purpose. Wake people from looking other places instead of looking within themselves, within the community, to build the financing. So definitely the financing is something that we're helping people reawaken the unity and those type of things, because those things will definitely help change things around.
And brother, I want to address that too. I want you to repeat that because you said something interesting in that. You said with the community. I want you to readdress that to me. So
Yeah, I said, so when you hear the word autonomy, which literally just means self-governance, when you hear the word autonomy, how does that play into the paradigm that you guys have instructed as a means or a solution to rectify the social ills in our community?
Good question. Excellent question, actually, because it allows us to address something just from our point of view. You know, I love my Black Power social media, you know, and everything, because it's at least allowing us to have these different points of view, you know what I'm saying? And more importantly, when I first ran into you, I said I was liking the vibes that I was seeing here lately, because it's now been moving to more a solution orientation. And that's when a lot of people like us, we just, you know, we down in the South. We in Tennessee, you know, more South than you guys are. We don't see the same reality sometimes that you guys see in major cities in different aspects. But what I am going to answer that with is that sometimes that autonomy is captured in all the realities. Like for instance, when I didn't know anything about private trust survival and all those things, I didn't realize I was private just operating through a corporation. You know, wouldn't use my social. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't operate contractually with the system. So what I'm saying is a lot of times when we start to bring a solution together, it will bring pieces to the puzzle that some people, because they hadn't went that route, or they have certain belief systems. Like I hear people have belief systems about Federal Reserve notes, and well, we don't need to touch that, or belief systems about using corporations. We don't need to touch that. And I think that's just the wrong viewpoint. Your autonomy can come in all these sectors, which will eventually snowball you through power, politically, economically, and social, to get to the real one where you got an even larger connection to whatever it is you're trying to create, whether it's be a municipality, you know what I'm saying? But you're not going to get there with the unrealistic goals and just throwing stuff out there. You know, when we part of our education training when we're dealing with businesses and taking them up, one of the things I ask everybody is to do their mastermind, and that's going to have your long-term goal, midterm goals, monthly, weekly, and daily. And it hasn't failed yet in about 10 years of mastermind. And all I got to do to know whether you're going to really be successful or not is look at your daily goal. Because everybody can have all these giant goals, and they can want to do all this and that, and sound good and get more attention than anybody. But what you're actually doing is going to show in your daily goals.
Awesome. All right, so that's great. That's excellent. Be Enterprises family, so you guys can see. You know, I definitely put my stamp on approval with what these guys are doing, because they've created a vehicle to navigate the system in order to aggregate the resources that we need to bring back to the community to better build everything that we're attempting to do, and the rhetoric that we speak about when people see us on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So when people see us on the internet, they hear these great ideas, they hear these great proclamations on what we should do and who we are. But now the next step is, once we've reached the people and captivated their minds and their ears, hand them over to brothers like this, so that way they could take them to the next step, so that way we can bring all of these resources, these skill sets, these great minds, our intellectual property, and pool it together, so that way we can actually create something and generate something, not just for ourselves and our immediate environment, but also for the generations to come. And these are some great, powerful brothers. They gave you the contact information. They gave you just a summary on what it is that they do. And I'm going to be doing business with them because I like the stuff that they're doing.
I like the shout out. It's excellent. You know, if we wouldn't have ran into you and you didn't ask us to do this, no, we stay very quiet.
Yeah.
But I said, hey, let's just do it. But I'll tell you, what's more important to me is getting with you and creating a success model, and then I don't have to beg.
I was about to say, it's going to be a part 2.
Yes.
So what you're seeing now is just the cameo appearance of these two brothers that you will see in future videos. How can they reach you? Number again?
Number is 800-516-1091, or email at Kinzer, KINZER, group, GROUP, trust@gmail.com.
Awesome. All right, family. I want to thank these guys for jumping on the channel. You know, they took time out of a busy schedule. They were supposed to be heading back right now. They took time out of a busy schedule to leave you guys with this information. You know exactly how to contact them. Like I said, they're going to be a part 2 when I start working with them, so you can see the motto in action. And I just want these guys to actually, their faces, to actually be seen by the people, so they can know what we're doing to actually build an economy within the infrastructure of our inner communities. Because without that inner structure, without that economy that patronizes one another, there's no way that once we disconnect from the system that we can have appropriate means of sustaining ourselves if we don't have the structure already in place. And these guys are actually doing it. So with that being said, family, we love you. Peace, shalom, and Black Power, family.
And peace to the rest of our business partners, families, Keith, Derek, Renee, everybody out there who's holding it down, Brian, all of y'all, peace.